We're going to take you live now to Premier Chris Minns. He's speaking about this potential of a big rail strike ahead of Sydney's New Year's Eve.
Chaos on our transport network as a result of this industrial action is the opposite of what an international city wants and needs. Now, we have made good faith offers to the unions, not only over the last weekend and the last week, but stretching back months and months. All of them have been rejected. And I think that at some point, the union leadership has to say, well, we've been given a fair offer. We can't hold the people of Sydney hostage as a result of them not accepting that offer. At the end of the day, 8% each year for 4 years, a 32% increase in salaries is something that we cannot afford. New South Wales taxpayers can't afford it. The rail system can't afford it. And what it would mean under those circumstances is literally a massive increase in the amount of fares that are charged to New South Wales commuters if we agreed to that salary increase. Something in the order of 17% a year, each year for 4 years, fares would have to go up if we were to cover the union claims of 32% over 4 years. Now, when you consider that families are doing it tough enough at the moment, particularly in the Christmas period, we can hardly ask them to reach even further into their pocket to pay for that kind of pay increase, that kind of salary increase for RTBU and combined rail union members. So we're asking them to be reasonable. If they don't want to sit down and work out an agreement now, then we would ask them to pull all industrial action over the coming period of time. It's just too disruptive to Sydney. And when you've got a lot of businesses and a lot of families that want to spend time with their friends over this period, that kind of disruption could be really ruinous to a lot of businesses and a big part of the economy. I've seen this morning that the rail unions have demanded that the government introduce fare-free days. I just want to make it clear that I stupidly agreed to that twice in the last 6 months, hoping that it would solve the industrial dispute. But the strikes kept happening and the industrial dispute went longer. Nothing changed. So twice the unions have demanded that the government introduce fare-free days. We've done it on 2 occasions, and yet the dispute goes on and on and on. At the end of the day, this is a trust issue. We don't think we can trust the union to follow through to pull all their industrial bans. Not to mention the offer that was given to the government over the last 12 hours would see fare-free days forever until we agree to their 8% a year salary increase or a 32% pay rise. Now, when you consider that would cost the government about $100 million at least a month, and at the same time they're demanding far more out of the transport budget, look, the two things don't align. I think that this is a bit of a game, but the game, unfortunately, is at the expense of the people of Sydney. We do need a breakthrough. We're going to be in court tomorrow. We'll wait for that judgment, but the stakes couldn't be higher, and I just want to make the point, the government had to draw a line in the sand here. We're not trying to be bloody-minded, and we believe we have been reasonable. But if I went back to the negotiating table today and agreed with the union's demands, then I can promise you one thing. Next year's New Year's would be on the table, so would the State of Origin, so would the Grand Final, so would Christmas, so would Easter. The pattern would repeat over and over again. At the end of the day, the government has to draw a line in the sand, acknowledge that we've given a fair offer and ask for the industrial dispute to be over.